In a brief hearing underscored by the statements from the victim's parents, Joe Walker of Mammoth Lakes was sentenced to 5 years in prison and the requirement to register as a sex offender for life. Bennett Kessler filed this report. Walker faced 21 counts of sex-related offenses involving a Santa Barbara girl who was 14 and 15 years of age during the crimes. Walker entered guilty pleas to 5 counts of unlawful contact with a child with the intent to commit a sex crime, 2 counts of lewd acts upon a child of 15, oral copulation, and conspiracy to commit a crime. Court documents described instances over the 2 years in which Walker engaged in sexual intercourse with the teenager and encouraged his friend, Dr. Andrew Bourne, to do the same. Bourne also faced charges in this case, and he took his own life at the end of January. Santa Barbara Deputy District Attorney Mary Barron said that after a brief sentencing hearing, Walker was remanded into custody of the Santa Barbara County Sheriff for transportation to the Department of Corrections. She said he was sentenced pursuant to the plea bargain. Barron also said that she read statements from the victim's mother and father at the hearing. The court has withheld names of the victim and parents. The mother's 2-page statement to Walker said, quote, "You are a user and abuser. Your narcissistic indulgence in yourself without giving a second thought to the remorse you bring to others around you is perverted and cruel. My daughter begged you to stop, to go away, to leave her alone. She told you that no one should have to endure what you did to her. You didn't stop," read the mother's statement. The father's brief statement said in part, "You took something that was not yours to take, something you can never give back. You have brought pain, shame, heartache, and embarrassment to my family. You deceived us." His statement ended by saying, "You have violated my family, and we will never forgive you." The civil suit filed by the family against Walker and the estate of Bourne is still pending in Santa Barbara court. The victim's parents' statements are posted on our website, sarawave.net. Well, seats on the Inyo and Mono County Boards of Supervisors are up for election on Tuesday. Several incumbent supervisors in both counties are trying to retain their seats, but are challenged by a number of candidates. Now competing in Inyo County District 2, incumbent supervisor Susan Cash, as well as Jeff Griffiths, currently a Bishop City Councilman, and Russ Aldridge, a business owner in Bishop. In District 4, incumbent supervisor Marty Fortney, Independence residents Nina Weissman and Christopher Dangwillow, and from Big Pine, Mark Tillemans. In District 5, incumbent supervisor Richard Cervantes going up against Matt Kingsley and Jim Gentry. Now competing for Mono County District 2 supervisor seat, incumbent supervisor Hap Hazard and Long Valley Fire Chief Fred Stump. In District 3, incumbent supervisor Vicki Bauer is taking on Tim Alpers. And in District 4, Jan Huggins going up against Tim Fesco and Bob Peters. Now, Inyo and Mono counties also have a congressional race in the new District 8. There are 13 candidates, which some reports have said is the most candidates in a California congressional race on record. Inyo and Mono historically have a high voter turnout, and so even our sparsely populated area is critical in this race, and a runoff is expected. We will post results on our website, sarawave.net, as well as reports on radio and television news when information becomes available on the election day. Also, Inyo election clerk Cammie Foote would like to assure voters that all vote-by-mail ballots that are returned to the election office by 8 p.m. on election day are counted. Foote writes that there have been rumors circulating that vote-by-mail ballots are not counted unless the contest is close. However, all votes legally cast in Inyo County are counted regardless of whether they were cast at the polling place or submitted via mail through the vote-by-mail process. Well, we have an update on the wind event that had the blowdown of many trees, and the cleanup continues in Reds Meadow Valley and Devil's Postpile National Monument. Many of the trails leading into the surrounding Ansel Adams and John Muir Wildernesses. Now, the latest update, currently there is still no public access to Reds Meadow Valley. The Reds Meadow Road remains closed to all traffic, including pedestrian and bicycle traffic, and there is no projected opening date for public access at this time. Now, the Forest Service has suspended campground reservations in Reds Meadow Valley. Wilderness reservations are still being taken for July and later in the summer, but at this time there are no predictions for dates that specific trails will be clear. Now, the temporary freeze on wilderness reservations for trails accessed by Reds Meadow Road will be lifted as soon as the road is open for public access. Now, the Pacific Crest and John Muir hikers planning to come out for a resupply through Reds Meadow, you are encouraged to visit the Inyo National Forest website for updates and trail status. Now, the trails to Devil's Postpile and Rainbow Falls have been cleared and are passable, and the day use areas at Starkweather and Sacher Lakes are also clear. Now, it is anticipated that the first campgrounds to open will be Reds Meadow, Devil's Postpile, and Minaret Falls, followed by Pumice Flat. Now, the last to open will be Soda Springs and Agnew. For up-to-date reports on the campground and trail cleanup progress, including pictures and maps, you should visit the Inyo National Forest website, and that is fs.usda.gov, and you'll want to get to Inyo Blowdown. Also, Devil's Postpile and Inyo National Forest will host National Weather Service meteorologist Rhett Milne, and that'll be for a presentation on the Blowdown event. Now, that is set for a week from today on Monday, July 11th, and that will be taking place 7 p.m. at the Mammoth Welcome Center Auditorium. Will last about an hour, and we'll have a Q&A session following the presentation. Well, Bennett Kessler filed the following report. On March 17, 2010, a man walked into Chase Bank in Bishop wearing dark glasses and a hat and demanded cash. Teller said he had a gun. Stephen Wiswell of Benton became the suspect and disappeared in spite of police efforts to track him down. Now, Mono County Sheriff's officers say they may have Wiswell's remains. Mono Lieutenant Sheriff Rob Weber confirmed that a man and woman on a walk in the Benton area near where Wiswell had lived found a skull and other human remains. They took photos with a cell phone. Lieutenant Weber said that a wallet belonging to Wiswell was found with the remains, as was a hat that he appeared to be wearing in bank surveillance tape more than 2 years ago. Weber said Wiswell's driver's license was in the wallet. Now, Lieutenant Weber said that the sheriff's office does not have definite confirmation of Wiswell's identification. He said dental records and possibly DNA tests will be performed. $545 was found in the wallet on scene, and Mono County Sheriff's officers will work to compare serial numbers with those on the money missing from Chase Bank. The robber in 2010 got away with a few $1,000s, according to reports. Now, back in 2010, Bishop Police had issued a warrant for the then 49-year-old Wiswell's arrest. Now, at that time, then Bishop Police Chief Kathleen Sheehan had stated that several of Wiswell's friends reported that he may have committed suicide. Images on the Paiute Palace Casino surveillance tapes the night of the bank robbery confirmed some suspicions about Wiswell. All of his personal information became available because he used his Players Club card. His image also closely matched that of the robber on the bank videotape. We'll be back with more news.